Let's get started. Start with listening, and then learn new words and practice them in sentences.
Have you ever wondered how to lead effective meetings in English? It's a question that many grapple with, especially when tasked with directing a group of diverse individuals towards a common goal. In the forthcoming minutes, we'll delve into the art of conducting productive professional meetings in English. We'll focus on setting a clear agenda that outlines your meeting's goals and discussion topics. We'll also tackle the challenge of time management, ensuring your meeting stays on track without unnecessary digressions. Encouraging participation is another key aspect we'll explore, using phrases that invite thoughts and opinions from your team. But what happens when disagreement strikes? We'll equip you with diplomatic strategies to resolve any conflicts that may arise. Lastly, we'll discuss how to effectively wrap up your meeting by summarizing key points and action items. Stay tuned to learn how to lead meetings confidently, keep discussions productive, and guide teams to successful outcomes in English-speaking environments. The first step to leading an effective meeting is setting a clear agenda. An agenda is like a roadmap for your meeting. It lays out the journey you want your team to take, from the starting point to the desired destination. Without it, you risk veering off course, getting stuck in tangential discussions, or worse, missing out on key decisions. To set an effective agenda, start by identifying the purpose of your meeting. Is it to make a decision, solve a problem, or share updates? Once you have a clear goal, break it down into specific topics of discussion. These are your milestones, the key points you must cover to reach your destination. It's also important to allocate time for each topic. This ensures that you cover everything without rushing or overrunning. Remember, your agenda isn't set in stone. It's a guide, and you may need to adjust it as the meeting progresses. With a clear agenda, you can ensure that your meeting is focused and productive. Time management is a crucial aspect of leading effective meetings. It's not just about starting and ending on time, but also ensuring every topic on the agenda gets the attention it deserves. One strategy is to allocate specific time slots for each point of discussion. This helps to maintain focus and prevents the meeting from veering off into unrelated tangents. But remember, flexibility is key. Some topics might require more time than initially anticipated. Avoiding side discussions is another essential strategy. While it's important to encourage open dialogue, side discussions can distract from the main agenda and consume valuable time. If a side topic arises that is relevant but not urgent, make a note of it for discussion at a later time. Incorporate time checks throughout the meeting to keep everyone aware of the time and how it's being spent. By managing time effectively, you can ensure that your meeting stays on track and covers all necessary points. Encouraging participation is key to a successful meeting. When you, as the leader, foster an environment where everyone feels comfortable sharing their thoughts and ideas, your meetings become a fertile ground for innovation and problem solving. One technique to encourage participation is to use phrases that invite input. For instance, you might say, "I'd like to hear your thoughts on this," or "What do you think we should do next?" These phrases signal to participants that their insights are valued and that their contributions are essential to the meeting's success. Another effective approach is to directly ask for suggestions or ideas during the discussion. This could be as simple as saying, "Does anyone have any suggestions for how we can tackle this issue?" or "Any ideas on how we can improve this process?" Remember, the goal of encouraging participation is not just to get people talking. It's about creating an inclusive atmosphere where everyone's input is valued, respected, and considered. By encouraging participation, you can ensure that all voices are heard and that the meeting is a collaborative effort. Conflicts and disagreements can arise in any meeting, but it's how you handle them that matters. Let's start with a universal truth. Disagreements are an inevitable part of any discussion. They can spring up from the most unexpected corners, and if not managed properly, they can derail even the most well-planned meetings. But don't fret, because conflicts can also be a catalyst for growth and innovation. The key is how we manage these disagreements. First, it's imperative to remember that everyone's opinion matters. When a disagreement arises, don't rush to quash it. Instead, say something like, "Let's take a moment to hear both sides." This simple phrase can diffuse tension and open up a space for constructive dialogue. Another strategy is to encourage empathy and understanding. You might say, "Let's try to see this from a different perspective." This can help team members to step out of their own viewpoints and consider the issue from multiple angles. Now, not all disagreements can be resolved immediately. In such cases, it's okay to table the discussion for a later time. You might say, I see that we have differing views on this. Let's revisit this topic once we've had time to reflect. This gives everyone a chance to cool down, gather their thoughts, and approach the disagreement with a fresh mindset. But what if a conflict escalates? This is where your leadership skills come into play. You might need to mediate and find a compromise. You could say, we need to find a compromise that works for everyone. Remember, the goal is not to win an argument, but to find a solution that benefits the team and the project. Lastly, always wrap up a disagreement on a positive note. Reiterate the goal of the meeting and remind everyone that despite differences, you're all working towards a common objective. You could say, despite our differences, let's remember that we're all aiming for the same goal. By handling conflicts and disagreements effectively, you can maintain a positive and productive meeting environment. And with that, let's move on to the next segment, wrapping up and summarizing. Finally, wrapping up and summarizing the meeting is an important final step. It's not just about ending the meeting, it's about making sure everyone is on the same page when they leave the room. And remember, it's not just about what has been said, but also about what needs to be done next. Let's focus on two key phrases to help you summarize effectively. The first one is, to sum up, we've agreed on. This phrase allows you to revisit the main points of the meeting and ensure that everyone is aligned. For instance, you might say, to sum up, we've agreed on increasing our marketing budget by 20%. And launching the new product line in the first quarter of the next year. The second phrase is, let's confirm the next steps. This is a crucial part of any meeting. Confirming next steps ensures that everyone knows their responsibilities and deadlines. It might sound something like this, let's confirm the next steps. Sarah, you'll finalize the budget proposal by next Wednesday. John, you're responsible for the product launch timeline. It's also a good idea to make notes during the meeting or designate someone as the note taker. This way, you can refer to these notes when wrapping up and summarizing. You can also send a follow-up email after the meeting, summarizing the key points and next steps. This helps reinforce what was discussed and ensures that nobody misses out on vital information. Remember, wrapping up a meeting is like tying a bow on a present. It's the final touch that brings everything together. It ensures that the meeting's objectives have been met, that everyone understands their roles moving forward, and that the team is aligned on the next steps. So, there you have it. By setting clear agendas, managing time effectively, encouraging participation, handling conflicts diplomatically, and wrapping up and summarizing effectively, you can lead productive and professional meetings in English. By wrapping up and summarizing effectively, you can ensure that everyone leaves the meeting with a clear understanding of what has been discussed and what the next steps are.
Let's learn new words and practice English at level C1. Agenda. Agenda, a list of topics to be discussed during a meeting. Example, before the meeting, send out an agenda to ensure everyone is prepared. Facilitate. Facilitate, to make a process easier or help something happen smoothly. Example, as a leader, it's important to facilitate discussions by encouraging participation from all attendees. Consensus. Consensus, general agreement among a group of people. Example, one of the key goals in a meeting is to reach consensus on important decisions. Time management. Time management, the process of planning and controlling how much time to spend on specific activities. Example, effective time management in meetings ensures that all topics are covered within the allotted time. Action items. Action items, specific tasks or steps that participants are assigned to complete after a meeting. Example, make sure to review the action items at the end of the meeting to ensure everyone knows their responsibilities.